guys, and welcome back to Reed's Readers with your host, Clinton Reed. And today, I apologize for the new setup. We had an ice storm and I decided to reorganize. So there's a little bit of a mess here and there, but that's because I pulled off a bunch of books because it's that time of the year again to announce the Merry Bookmas Readathon. Super excited. It's going to be one of our best readathons yet. We have an amazing author, an amazing extra co-host to join us. It's going to be balls of fun. Cause deck the halls with bells of holly, fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel. Fa la 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 la. I will say it's a little weird singing Christmas songs the night before Halloween. But whatever. But everybody knows, if you've been around Time and Shoot, or if this is your first time, I co-host a readathon for each and every season. We do the Fall Into Reading-a-thon, which went amazing this year, which we host during fall time. We do a springtime readathon, the Spring Into Reading, Fall Into Reading, Spring Into Reading, Summertime Reads, and our Merry Bookmas with my lovely co-host, Mel from Completely Melanie, who I will link down below. I don't know if you'll see all the links and stuff the first day or what. We'll have to figure that all out. But this year, for the Merry Bookmas Readathon, me and Mel are welcoming Kaylani from Kaylani Simply Me. And I will have her video linked down below eventually. You'll see. Along with some 12 amazing challenges, an amazing group book, which we'll get to. We will have our live show on December 19th at 2 p.m. my time. And I do believe it's 3 p.m. Mel's time in Tennessee. And Kaylani is in Los Angeles. Do I want to say it's 11 o'clock for her? It's either not Los Angeles. She's in California. It's either 10 or 11 for her. I don't know. I don't remember. But I do know it's 8 p.m. in England time, if that helps you guys. And this readathon takes place from December 1st to December 31st. Which, mind you, excuse me, there may be an announcement closer to December 31st. Mel and I, and possibly Kaylani, might be joining you for a live show to celebrate the new year. Because we all want 2020 to be over with. Can you imagine that it's already time for the Merry Bookmas Readathon? Christmas is around the corner. Tomorrow's Halloween. Next month is Thanksgiving. And then Christmas? Where has this year gone? And I'm so happy it's finally rushing at this end. Because we all need a reprieve from these 6 planets that are retrograde. This horrible virus. Horrible everything. And that is why me and Mel created this readathon. Created this readathon a while back just to have fun and remind everybody the love of reading. Now, you do not have to read all 12 books. You don't have to read a book for every challenge. You can triple up, quadruple up, double up. However you want to do it. You can choose a few of the challenges to do. It's whatever you feel comfortable with doing. It's totally up to you. Excuse me. It's been a while since I filmed, apparently. It's been a crazy couple weeks. I went 2 weeks without reading. It's been a weird time here in Chateau Reed. But I digress. Everything aside, I hope you guys join us and we have lots of fun. But let's get to the part you guys are all excited about. And I have at least 2 examples for each. I think the first one I have 4 examples, but the rest I think I have like 2 examples at least. So let's just get into the 12 days of Bookmas. Or the 12 challenges of Bookmas, I should say. Challenge number 1, which we did last year, is Partridge in a Pear Tree. Read a book with either a bird, a tree, or a fruit on its cover or in its title. Such as you could read Anne of Green Gables, which has an apple tree. Actually, it's got apples, a tree, and birds on the cover. I did not realize that. Which, by the way, fruit was the hardest example I had to hunt for on my shelf. I need to invest in some books with a few books that I'm interested in that happen to have fruit on the cover. Definitely need to get more with beverages because fall in a readathon, but that's another story altogether. But we have fruit, or something like Cinderella's Dead, where you see the forest behind her. Or the new cover of Winter by Marissa Meyer, which has birds and trees on the cover. Or you could read something like Serpent and Dove, where dove's in the title. It's a type of bird. Challenge number 2 is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Reindeer, Reindeer. Read a red book. Now, you can read a book that is completely red, like The Wedding Date by Jasmine Guillory, or you could read something like A Werewolf in Riverdale by Kaylani, which has a little bit of red on the cover. You could find a book that has 1 speck of red and count it. Don't care. It's your choice. And we'll wait to see what my choice is. I can't wait to show you guys my TBR. It's going to be so much fun. Challenge number 3, which is a new one. Let's see if I can get this right. Silent Night. Did I do that right? I hope I did that right. Let me try that again. Silent Night. Don't judge a disability by its visibility. Because of Silent Night and as ASL signing, which I hope I did right. If I didn't, I apologize. I'm really bad at this. I'm trying to remember. Silent Night in December is Disability Awareness Month. So we want you guys to read a book with a disability representation. Now, I have 2 examples here. You could always do something like A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kimmerer, which the 3rd one comes out in January, hint, hint, which has a character with cerebral palsy, which is a physical disability. Or you could read something like Turtles All the Way Down by John Green, which is about a girl who's fighting with anxiety and OCD and germophobia and a few others, which are more mental disabilities. So we want you guys to, which by the way, both of these are 5 stars, amazing recommendations. As someone who had a sister who passed away who had cerebral palsy, I thought the representation in this book was amazing. It's not the type my sister had, but it does, in a chapter, they do talk about the different types of levels of cerebral palsy. So I will forever be recommending. This is the only John Green book I've ever really liked, but this hit me home. Like, both of these, I will forever recommend. But yeah, we want to represent, and there are so many amazing books. Ooh, ooh, ooh. A 3rd recommendation would be The Brave by James Byrd, which, spoiler alert, may or may not be number 1 or number 2 of my favorite books of the year. This is about a boy who has, I want to say it's a type of autism. There's an actual word in it that they use, but it's about a boy who has to count every single letter of every word you say to him and say that amount back to you before he can respond. And it's him dealing with that and coming to terms with being Ojibwe, which is a Native American, with his Native American roots, and learning to be brave and knowing that having a disability doesn't hinder you. Amazing book to recommend. I can't believe I forgot about it till just now. Glanced behind me. This book will break your heart, and I think everyone needs to read it. I actually had 3 for that one. Then you have I Have a Little Dreidel. I have a little dreidel made of clay, made of clay. Read a book that involves a game. Now, I took a little bit more of, Mel likes to go a little bit literal with it. I go a little bit more stretching with it. But you can read something like Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow, where she goes through trials to get into a school, which is kind of like The Hunger Games, which that's also a good recommendation for this. But like, the trials to me are kind of like games to get into something. Because to me, games test your wits. Or you can read something like In the Hall with the Knife by Diana Pearfroyd, which is based off the board game Clue and the movie Clue. So, those are my recommendations for games. Challenge number 5 is I'll be home for Bookmas. I'll be home for Bookmas. Read a book in your favorite cozy spot. Whether that's your bed, whether that's your couch, your floor, if it's your car, whatever you think is the best place for you to read an entire novel and have fun. And on the flip side of that is, baby, it's cold outside for challenge number 6, and read a cozy read. And for this, I have 2 different types of cozy for me. Cozy for me are YA mystery thrillers. Mysteries and thrillers, for some reason, like warm me. Or I could go back and take a little dip in one of my favorite books and worlds. Like everyone knows, Adriana Mather, How to Hang a Witch. Or Death Prefers Blondes by Kayla Rarig. Both are favorite books of mine. Both of these would count as cozy reads to me. Both would count towards a lot of these challenges, but this is what I consider cozy. If you consider a romance cozy, do you consider horror as your cozy read? Whatever you read to get lost in, to feel that warmth, fill you up, and bring you back to joy and happiness, that is what you should read. That's the whole point of reading, is to have fun. And you just want a book that'll just like cuddle you up and make you feel cozy and warm. Next is challenge number 7 is All I Want for Bookmas is You. Read either a romance or read a book that involves a friendship group. You can always read something like The Diviners by Libra Bray, which I don't know why you would want to, but this is by far one of my favorite friend groups of all time, so that's why I recommend it. Or the other one that's either number 1 or number 2 of my favorite books of the year, another spoiler, you could read a paranormal romance, which is something I love, like Wolf Song by TJ Klune, which also, their pack to me, would be considered one of the best friend groups and found families that I've ever found in a book. Now this next one, I went a little different with it. But Happy Kwanzaa, read a book by or about a person of color. You can do someone like N.K. Jemisin for the 5th season, who is African American. Or, person of color doesn't always mean a Black author or a Black character. You could always read a book like Star Daughter by Shveta Thakkar, who is a Middle Eastern. Person of color just means someone that's not white. You can take that to mean whatever you want. African American, Middle Eastern, Hispanic, Egyptian, stuff like that. Someone who is not typically white or typically seen. So keep that in your thoughts. Because a lot of times, a lot of us see POC as automatically aiming at the African American or Black or a Black person. I'm really bad at wording, so I'm sorry if that sounded weird. But I want you to find a book that you are excited about of any author of color, whether they be Black, Hispanic, or Middle Eastern, or any other color of the rainbow but white. Because those authors never get the recommendation, they never get the light shined on them like they should. Challenge number 9 is my favorite things. Read a book featuring one of your favorite tropes. Like for me, are YA mystery thrillers set in high schools with lots and lots of like Breakfast Club meets Mean Girls meets stuff like that. I don't know why I love it, but this year I've realized it is by far probably my favorite mystery trope ever. Or books that involve witches. I know witches really aren't a trope, but I'm going to use it as this. I like the idea of finding something unique that involve witches. And I highly recommend both of these books. The Ravens by Cass Morgan and Danielle Page, and One of Us is Lying by Karen and McManus, which both would cover multiple challenges, such as this has ravens in the title and ravens covering it. And this has red on the cover, so. Challenge number 10 is Last Bookmas. Last Bookmas, I gave you my heart. The very next day you threw it away. But Last Bookmas, read a book that came out in 2019. You know all those pre-orders you did last year? And you never got to them? Now's your chance. Could read something like Capturing the Devil by Carrie Maniscalco, or another Karen and McManus book, Two Can Keep a Secret. Both came out in 2019. Challenge number 11 is Underneath the Tree. Read a book that's either been gifted to you or gift yourself a book and read it. Now, I have 2 books here that Mel has both gifted to me. And these are actually the 2 that I'm voting between for this challenge. I could either read A Semi-Definitive List of Worst Nightmares by Crystal Sutherland, or I could read something like Lightning by Dean Koontz, which really scares me and I don't know why, but it does. All the books she's ever given me, this is the one that terrifies me the most. And it's not even that big of a novel. Shh, don't tell Mel. Even though she's gonna watch this video. Now those are the first 11 challenges of the Merry Bookmas. Let's get to the final challenge. I want to wish you a Merry Bookmas. Read the group read, which our group book this year is, drum roll please, is The Deceivers by Kristen Simmons. I don't know if it's Christine or Kristen. I'm going to have to ask her because she will be joining us for the live show. And I couldn't be more excited. Which this book could also double up because it came out in 2019. Well, the paperback with this amazing cover. Which is a book that I won earlier this year from the author and fell in love. Now let me read the back so you guys can know what this amazing 5-star book is all about. Welcome to Val Hall. When Brynhilder is recruited to the elite, mysterious Val Hall, it seems too good to be true, and maybe it is. Bryn spends her free time conning spoiled, entitled rich kids out of their allowances. Any guilt she feels is worth the ultimate goal, college. But the director of Val wants Bryn to put her conning skills to use on much bigger, riskier targets. Instead of honors English textbooks, her assigned reading is a history of scams. She'll be graded on how well she can execute classic hustles and deceptions. For the first time ever, Bryn feels like she belongs. She has real friends and a potential boyfriend. And then again, they're all basically professional liars. The only one who seems honest is the senator's son she's assigned to con for her semester project. But he wouldn't be her mark if he wasn't hiding something. And Stephanie Garber blurbed on the back, the perfect con, full of clever characters, untrustworthy romance, and lie after lie after lie, with just enough truth tossed in to make you question everything. I could not devour this book fast enough. Lying has never seemed so much fun. Catherine McKee. All I gotta say is I really hope you guys love it. Me and Mel fell in love with this book earlier this year, and we could not be more excited to have the author. So we also read book 2, Scammed, book 3, Payback, comes out in I don't remember if it's February or March. By the time we have the live show, I'll know these details. It's been a long 2 weeks, guys. Emotions. Oh. But I really hope you guys join us for the live show. Whether you read the book or not, it's going to be so much fun. And then our after live show, which we'll tell you in the live show when that starts, is going to be amazing. But, yeah. This book is... Can't wait to reread it. It's going to be so much fun. So much fun! But there you go, guys. That is our Merry Bookmas Readathon announcement. And don't forget, this takes place the entire month of December. December 1st, you guys will see all of our amazing TBRs. You have the 2 gorgeous ladies, one of which will be playing bingo, and one of them will be playing the Wheel of TBR. Come January, I may be playing something. Keep your mind open for lots and lots and lots of fun. But that is our announcement. I hope you guys join us. It's going to be so much fun. And remember, especially in this dark times, you guys are loved. I hope you guys keep your mental health up. I'm sending a bunch of hugs and love to everybody out there in the world. You guys have helped me through some of my darkest times this year, and I couldn't be more excited and more happy to have you guys in my life. So, mwah. That's all I've got for you guys today. If you're new to this video, hit that thumbs up. You might as well hit that subscribe to see what I pick for this readathon. I'm already looking at my shelves going, ooh, that'll work, ooh, that'll work, ooh, that'll work, that'll work for that, that'll work for that. Listen, it's gonna be a madhouse in here. And remember, kids, reading is what? Fundamental. Until next time, oh boy, if I can get to the screen.